silence from you is like the death of a tune. Oh, I have been driven.
On the way back into town from my safari in South Africa, I ran into a couple of Americans who offered me a ride along with them on a road trip through Swaziland on their way to Mozambique. Who wouldn't say yes to that? One long van ride and one very long bus ride later, I arrived in Tofo, Mozambique, some 230 miles north of the capital city of Maputo. This sleepy fishing village on the Indian Ocean is home to the usual cast of characters found in far-flung beach towns around the world. Dreadlocked Australians, scuba instructing Israelis, and Portuguese hostel owners can be found daily roaming the central market along with the local Mozambicans on any given day. And what's caused this motley crew of expats to settle here on this patch of beach? Try some of Africa's best diving, an expansive beach stretching as far as the eyes can see, killer waves for surfing, and a thriving local culture that makes you realize why travelers fall in love with Africa.
Tofu is known the world over as a major scuba center. The reason being is its amazing aquatic life. Here you can find everything from sea turtles, manta rays, whale sharks, and even humpback whales.
After I arrived, I did what any pasty New Yorker would do upon setting foot in a tropical paradise. Sign up for a 4-day intensive scuba instruction course, complete with days spent watching instructional DVDs, bobbing around the bottom of a concrete pool, and cramming for tests involving all the various ways one can perish underwater. You know, normal vacation stuff. But was it ever worth it?
Mozambique has incredible artists, and almost every town you go to in the country, you'll find a market where the artists are selling their goods.
I caught up with Naldito and Santos, a couple of new friends I met on the bus ride into town, and they showed me around the market where they and a group of others sell their handmade goods. Mozambique is a country where the annual income is just $340, and life as an artist doesn't make it any easier. In the back of the market, you can see where the artists sleep in ramshackle tents, stones throw away from their stores. Despite this hard life, Naldito and Santos were some of the happiest guys I've ever met on my travels, and I was truly sad when I had to say goodbye. The average life expectancy in the country is just 37 years, and it's actually falling because of the country's #1 killer, HIV/AIDS. The #2 cause of death in the country is malaria. Anytime you travel somewhere where malaria is a risk, it's essential you take certain precautions. Take anti-malarial medication every day, sleep with a mosquito net, mosquitoes come out at night, and use mosquito repellent so that you can avoid those critters. Even if you're doing all three, you have to watch out for certain symptoms. Headaches, aches and pains, fevers, nausea, extreme malaise, or in my case of vomiting, go to a hospital immediately and get yourself tested. And if you go and you find out you have it, like I did, you're gonna get this, malaria medication. And get ready to lie around feeling like a truck just ran you over. Thankfully, if caught in time, the medication is extremely effective. Though not fun to have, I can't think of many places in the world I'd rather lounge around getting better than here. Now, time to write a thank you note to the drug company Novartis. Feeling back to normal, I headed to the airport, with Naldito hitching a ride. After arriving, I learned that an important government minister was flying into town. and here I thought that I was finally getting the treatment I deserved at an airport. I felt a little weird, and maybe even ashamed of flying out that day. In just a few days I'd be back home again with all those creature comforts of home we all take for granted. Clean water, adequate health facilities, basic living wages. As I floated over the continent, I was reminded of the quote by Miriam Beard. Travel is more than the seeing of sights. It is a change that goes on, deep and permanent in the ideas of living. And I wondered to myself how deep and permanent Africa was changing me.